Tonight on News 5 Live, the Briceño administration prepares to take over the Port of Belize. A new bill is passed through the House to settle all outstanding debts with the Ashcroft Consortium. Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio responds to the Prime Minister. And the Ministry of Education foots 100% of salaries for teachers and principals at grant-aided schools. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. This Christmas, choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances. Distributed by Nando's Wholesale.
Season's greetings to our cherished Channel 5 family.
As the festive lights twinkle
and we gather around the mistletoe,
we reflect on a year of storytelling
that has both challenged and inspired us.
We've launched groundbreaking series
that captivated viewers across the country
and beyond.
We've won prestigious awards
for journalistic and production excellence.
We expanded our community outreach,
touching lives
beyond the screen.
Your loyalty
fuels our passion
for innovation
and drives us to new heights.
Thank you for making our achievements possible as we look forward to creating more memorable moments with you in the coming year. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, December 7th. I am Sabrina Daly. The House of Representatives met today in Belmopan, where a raft of bills was tabled in Parliament. Among them is a written proposal for a new piece of law that would clear up all monies owed from previous lawsuits to businesses related to Lord Michael Ashcroft. In essence, the government of Belize is seeking parliamentary approval to authorize the payment of almost $200 million to various Ashcroft interests. The Burseño administration, via the introduction and subsequent passage of a port acquisition and settlement deeds bill, is seeking to resolve all claims and litigation, as well as outstanding judgment awards. The move will also see the immediate withdrawal of claims made against the government of Belize, including the Waterloo UK-Belize Treaty claim relating to, quote, the denial on environmental grounds of an application for environmental approval to construct a cruise port, a lawsuit against the Christian Workers Union and the stevedores claiming business interruption damages, an injunction blocking an ex gratia payment to stevedores, end quote. Here is the bill as it was presented this morning.
Madam Speaker, this is the Belize City Port Acquisition and Settlement Deeds Bill 2023. Madam Speaker, I rise to introduce a bill for an act to facilitate the acquisition of certain shares in unmovable assets and real estate from the Port of Belize Limited by the Government of Belize for and on behalf of the people of Belize, and the implementation of the terms of deeds of settlement among the Government of Belize and the Port of Belize Limited, and Waterloo Investments Holdings Limited, and the Government of Belize and Midway Investments Limited, and Belize Social Development Limited to settle certain arbitral awards owed by the Government of Belize and outstanding litigation among the parties, and to provide for certain exemptions from the General Sales Tax Act to facilitate the effective renovation of the Fort George Hotel, and to provide for matters connected therewith or incidental to.
Included in the settlement, Belize Hotels Limited, the parent company of the Radisson Fort George Hotel, will build a new conference facility as part of an ongoing $57 million reconstruction project. As such, the company's fiscal incentive, which was placed on hold since 2022, will be approved by the Ministry of Investment. According to a release issued by the government of Belize earlier today, it goes on to state, quote, government will pay less than half the total settlement sums up front, $45 million, while the balance will be paid over 5 years by way of Belize dollar government treasury notes, carrying an average coupon of 3.65%, end quote. While Prime Minister John Burseño moved for the bill to be read through, Colette Area Representative Patrick Faber rose on a point of order.
Madam Speaker, in accordance with Standing Order number 49-1, I move that the bill be taken through all its stages forthwith.
Thank
you, Madam Speaker.
Are you on a point of order?
Of course, Madam Speaker, we have to complain about the position of this bill being pushed through all 3 readings in one day. Madam Speaker, this is a big deal. This is a big issue.
Member for Colette, what's the point of order?
My point of order is, Madam Speaker, I'm appealing to the Prime Minister, or the reason for me standing is to appeal to the Prime Minister not to ram this bill down the throats of the Belizean people. This morning, Madam Speaker, this morning, it was only this morning that we received. Look at this document, and this is just one of 3. How in the world are we to understand, Madam Speaker, what this deal is all about? So I appeal to the Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, not to proceed today. Give it 2 days, give it 3 days, give it a week and bring it back. This is absolutely ridiculous, Madam Speaker.
The Office of the Prime Minister has indicated that the Board of Directors for Port of Belize Limited will include a representative from Labour, as well as the business community. Following its debate today, the bill will move on to the upper house on Monday, and government's acquisition of the Port of Belize should be completed thereafter. Leader of the opposition Moses Shine Barrow told reporters that while he and his colleagues on the opposition support the reacquisition of the Port of Belize, he believes that the government is doing it for the wrong reasons. He also feels that the government was not completely transparent with the details of the acquisition.
My colleagues and myself are not against acquisition. You look at the cost of the acquisition, it would have been better if the government would have not been this in the dark, in the middle of the night governance in the way that they went about this. Sharing the information helps to allay any suspicion, to allay any aspersions, but we got no information. We got the information yesterday, and then we got booklets of the deeds this morning. So it's difficult to be able to say without speaking to experts, was this really valued? Because they're claiming that it was valued at 500 million and they got everything down to 200 million. But again, I have to be consistent with the UDP practice of nationalization. We believe that we should own our national assets. And so in the same fashion as in BTL and in BEL, where we acquired our national assets, and I remember Prime Minister Barrow saying that there was no cost too high to pay for what belonged to the Belizean people. It was the PUP that sold our ports to a private entity, and so I support the acquisition.
Aside from the reason for acquiring the port, Barrow also questioned the timeliness of the transaction at a time when there are other pressing issues that the government ought to give urgent attention to, such as teachers and Crown councils who have been shedding light on their working conditions.
It also begs the question, if we have $200 million to give our corporate interests, why don't we have that money to deal with the teachers, to deal with the Crown councils who are complaining that the criminal justice system is broken because they don't have adequate security, they don't have adequate resources. Our public health facilities are still in shambles. We don't have a CAT scan, but we have $200 million to settle debts and to, again, the settlement of the debt is separate from the acquisition of the port. So I don't really want to conflate it, but I understand that part of the negotiations is, well, you want to settle this, this has to be included. And also, the Belizean people are no fools. We recognize that the government got itself into this position because the trust fund for the boys, the pension plan for the boys, which is the Portico agreement, must go on. So the Belizean people really have to question why the urgency is now to spend $200 million, if not to continue with that corrupt Portico agreement.
Coming up, GOB to cover full salaries of teachers at grant-aided schools. We'll have more details when we come back.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day.
Daddy, buy me one Carol consomme.
Carol consomme.
consomme. Carol, Mr. Sam, give me a...
You want egg? Oh, you want consomme? Carol consomme.
Carol Consomme. The best taste and the best price. Less fat, more flavor. Carol Consomme. Available in packets for only 20 cents and a half-pound jar for only $2.75. Less fat, more flavor, more savings.
Give me a...
Carol consomme.
Taste the savings. Love the flavor.
Available at 88 Shopping Center, Publix Supermarket, TJ Supermarket, Ming Superstore, Sugar City Supermarket, and you can also find it at your favorite supermarkets near you.
Good morning, miss.
Morning.
How you sell the apples?
3 for 5.
3 for 5?
Yeah. Fresh apples.
Fresh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Good morning. How much?
Sell her for 15,000. For interested, I could go for 14.
14? Perfect. 14.
14.
Perfect. Good morning. Excuse me, how long have you two been dating?
7 months, why?
7 months? 7? Good. Good number, good number.
¿Qué le pasa?
Crazy, man. I got it. I got it now. My Bolito number is ready.
Bolito and Sunday Lottery returns December 1st, 2023 with the first draw scheduled for Sunday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. sharp. Fui fun, fui profits, fui Bolito.
Golden Bay is the place to be this Christmas season. Shopping for the whole family is an amazing experience when you do it at the right store. You can get Christmas ornaments and trees, small kitchen appliances, home fixtures, rechargeable toys, kitchen and bathroom supplies, baby supplies, food items, and much more. We're open on Monday to Saturday at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays, you can enjoy a whopping 10% off everything from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Shop in stores or contact us at 223-1339 or WhatsApp us at 635-1624. Shop today for more only at Golden Bay.
Get out and explore this weekend with Caribbean Sprinter. With our ferries, you'll get to San Pedro, Belize City, and Key Cocker faster and smarter. Visit Caribbean Sprinter online at sprinter.bz.
Christmas is right around the corner, and so is Habet and Habet's 39th anniversary. This year, Santa and Habet are teaming up to give you an early Christmas treat. Nice up your home for Christmas with Habet and Habet's 39th anniversary sale with 15% discount on selected items from December 1st through December 16th. Yes, you heard right. Come over to Habet and Habet and save big on your Christmas upgrades. We have paints for that new house look and smell, bathroom fixtures, fans with lights, decorative wallboards, windows from your favorite brands StoreGuard, Haven and Sunlight, and power tools from brands like Stanley, DeWalt, Bosch, Skill, and Black & Decker, all at 15% off. Celebrate Habet and Habet's 39th anniversary this December 1st through 16th with 15% off select items. Also, for every purchase of $50, you get a chance to win a $500 gift certificate every day for the 12 days of Christmas. Habet and Habet, building with Belize for 39 years.
Gimme 5! The biggest giveaway show of the year is back with new prizes and surprises. The fun starts at 8 p.m. on Monday, December 4th and ends on Friday, December 8th. Gimme 5 coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studio on Coney Drive in Belize City. Fill out your coupons and return them to our Channel 5 office. Remember to tune in at 8 p.m. every night from December 4th to the 8th for awesome entertainment, giveaways, and lots of prizes. And don't forget, such as a double premium mattress, a 55-inch Samsung TV, bicycles, 2-night stay at Naya Resort, 2-night stay at the Windward Lodge on Tobacco Key, a shopping spree, turkeys, and much, much more. And don't forget, when your phone rings, Don't say
hello.
Say
give me 5. Yeah!
Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio is on her way back from Dubai, where she participated in panel discussions at COP28. Before Palacio left, she appointed Hope Amadi as acting mayor. That decision caused turmoil at the Belize City Council because, according to the Department of Local Government, Councillor Sani Cal should have assumed the role. But Cal's position as deputy mayor expired earlier this year. It's a situation that has caused the People's United Party embarrassment. That's what Prime Minister John Briceño told reporters recently. Responding to PM Briceño tonight is Mayor Palacio, who we managed to catch up with at COP28.
Who's in charge of the Belmopan City Council now?
Belmopan City Council is Hope Amadi. He's the person I left in charge.
You've heard what the Prime Minister said?
I heard what the Prime Minister said, but I don't know if he really studied exactly what happened, because basically, just listen to this. There was a meeting, and the position of deputy mayor was dissolved. The person, Deputy Mayor Cal, his time came to an end, and along with that, I consciously did what I did, because whenever I leave the country, these councillors, they behave like kids, and I always have to be running back. I've never ever left the country in peace to be able to do anything. And I decided that coming to Dubai, I can't run back. So I decided to leave someone who I know will carry out the agenda that needs to be carried out. And that's the bottom line. So as far as I'm concerned, Councillor Amadi is representing me.
As acting mayor?
As acting mayor.
Because the Prime Minister said the situation in Belmopan is embarrassing.
Well, he can say whatever he chooses, but basically I don't agree with him. He should have contacted me, but that's the entire, it has been like that. And the Prime Minister knows that he is someone that I've tried to discuss with, and it hasn't been possible. I haven't even spoken to the Prime Minister, not at all. And I'm not afraid to say it.
This morning in the House of Representatives, it was also announced that the government of Belize, through the Ministry of Education, will be covering the full salaries of the faculties and staff of all grant-aided secondary and tertiary institutions across the country. The announcement, which came as welcome news to the Grant-Aided Management Authority of Schools, was made by Education Minister Francis Fonseca.
Mr. Speaker, I will provide a brief statement on what I regard as a very, very important and historic decision by the government of Belize, Ministry of Education, our cabinet. And that decision is to pay the full 100% salaries and service benefits of all grant-aided secondary and tertiary level educational institutions in Belize. Oh, Madam Speaker, this is a long-standing issue, one I have long regarded personally as an injustice, really, a historic injustice to the teachers who have been affected by it. Now, I want to be very clear in what we're doing. Ministry of Education requested Cabinet's approval and support for meeting, and this again is all tied to part of our negotiations and discussions over many years with the joint unions and with the teachers, Belize National Teachers Union in particular. I'll refer to it shortly, but the current CBA is outstanding for 14 years. And so what this decision does is really providing for the Ministry of Education, the government of Belize, to pay the full 100% salaries and service benefits of all grant-aided secondary and tertiary level institutions, educational institutions in Belize. So teachers and administrators, all teaching staff, will benefit from full 100% pension, allowances, and service benefits.
But how will the pension plan work, considering that the existing configuration is a 70-30 split with grant-aided schools? It's a question that was posed by the former Minister of Education to his successor, who provided a financial breakdown in response.
I am not clear, Madam Speaker, as to what will happen with those persons who are now pensionable, just coming on, they're just retiring. What will happen to those persons who have worked? Let's make an example of somebody who is teaching for 25 years, has 5 years more to go in the system. The problem has always been what will happen to those 25 years when the formula was 70-30. Who will pay that portion? And I'm not clear if the minister is saying that the government is committing to take on all that back payment of that 30% for all the years of those service that the teachers did in those years. The other thing, Madam Speaker, is that I'm not hearing clearly from him, and I hope he could elucidate, that they will cover full pensions for all of these teachers and that there is no contribution on the part of teachers in the making any at all. I would want him to elucidate on that. For primary school teachers and for secondary school teachers, will there be a contributory pension? Is there one in the pipeline? Because if we're giving the teachers full pay, 100% as opposed to the 70-30 at the secondary level, and then the intention is to come back and say, all right, you have to contribute to the pension, plus all the primary school teachers, now then you're giving with one hand and taking.
Madam Speaker, the total investment, very important, to cover the additional 30% salaries and benefits of teaching and non-teaching staff, year to year over the next 5 years, is projected at around $12 to $13 million a year. So over a 5-year period, the total figure will be $64.8 million invested in our teachers and our education community, and not leaving out the support staff as well.
The Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs is a few steps closer to completing an outline for putting into practice a consent order as directed by the Caribbean Court of Justice. This is in respect of the Maya land rights issue in southern Belize. Minister Dolores Balderramos Garcia provided an update on where government is with the development of an FPIC protocol, as well as the drafting of a Maya customary land tenure policy.
Today, I'm pleased to announce substantial advancements in the government of Belize's ongoing efforts to facilitate the implementation of the consent order of the Caribbean Court of Justice in 2015. Over the past 3 years, Madam Speaker, we have devoted extensive resources and energy to finalizing the framework for the development and execution of affirmative measures in adherence to the consent order as guided by the relevant court proceedings. The first of these was the Free Prior Informed Consent Protocol, which has served to successfully guide several projects and programs within many of the Maya communities. The government of Belize has meticulously crafted a comprehensive roadmap, and this roadmap presented to the CCJ outlines crucial milestones that must be achieved to ensure our compliance with the court's ruling, including the development of the FPIC protocol, the drafting of the Maya customary land tenure policy, and the eventual legal drafting for the pending legislation. It serves as our guiding document in the execution of the consent order.
Earlier this week, bakers of sliced bread said they would increase the price from $1.75 to $2.50 per loaf of bread. The price hike will take effect as of December 18th. Bakers, like merchants, have cited an increase in the cost of inputs, as well as minimum wage, as part of the struggle for them to continue seeing profits. And while the leader of the opposition says he understands their position, he believes that the government must do what it has to in order to protect the most vulnerable class of people who will be affected the most by these increases.
I don't agree that the bakers have the authority to do that. I believe that that is a controlled good, and so only the government can do that. So the government needs to intervene and ensure that the law is followed. I will always have to be on the side of the people. I understand the business community. I understand that business owners have to do what they have to do, but the responsibility of the state is to protect the vulnerable, to protect all of its citizens, but to protect more than anyone our citizens who are under economic attack. Poverty has never been so rampant, and the suffering and the pain has never been so rampant. So the government needs to engage the bakers, and they need to find a solution that works for the Belizean people and takes into considerations the challenges that the bakers are having.
By extension, the merchants who have on their own decided to raise the price of goods and services.
Yes, well, again, that's because we have a government that does not embrace the challenges, the difficult situations that need to be resolved. As in this case with the bakers, it was the government that was supposed to come to a solution with the bakers. It does not give them the permission to go beyond the law.
After the break, a revised cruise tourism policy is unveiled. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Man, ever since everybody heard the next big thing there, the excitement can't done. Everyone wants to know more.
More?
Yes, please. I tell them, say hello to unlimited data, only with Digi. You can now enjoy unlimited data with Digi's postpaid plans, like the Plus plan, which just got cheaper, I might add. The Elite and Max plans also have unlimited data. You can have from 5 to 7 people on your shared plan, with all having unlimited data 24/7. I tell you no, big things. If you're not signed up already, I suggest you sign up now. Make the switch to Digi. The next big thing there, go sign up for your unlimited data. Unlimited is unlimited. Never worry about data again.
In the low-lying areas of Belize City, flooding caused by heavy rainfall is a major concern for residents and businesses. It can cause health risks and damage to infrastructure and homes. To mitigate flooding effects, the Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, in partnership with the Belize City Council with funding provided by the Inter-American Development Bank, has implemented a series of climate-resilient flood control measures. These include the cleaning and rehabilitation of drains, canals, and finally the construction of a pumping station designed to drain the accumulated rainfall in Belize City. The flood mitigation system reduces flooding through its 3 components. First, the Colette, East, and North Creek canals collect water from the drains. Next, there are 5 sluice gates, 1 at each of the canals and 2 at the pump station that can be raised or lowered to control the flow of water. Finally, the pumping station, located in Port Loyola, pumps the water collected from the canals and drains into the sea. And while this means the pump station can greatly reduce the risk of flooding, we must all do our part to keep the system working effectively. It's of utmost importance that Belize City residents dispose of their garbage properly and keep the waterways clear. no more clogged drains. With the new pump station and our efforts as a community, we can reduce the impacts of flooding in downtown Belize City.
Safety isn't expensive, it's priceless. My name is Abigail Wagner. I attend El Shaddai STA and I am in Standard 6. Safe values and attitudes are very important in one's personal life because it teaches us to learn to be responsible for our actions. Responsibility equals accountability. Accountability equals ownership. And a sense of ownership is the most powerful thing a team or organization can have.
Thank you, BEL, for this great initiative. It is a benefit for both students and also families and also our school. We want to use some of the funds to fix our computer lab. We have our electrical, we need to change the wiring in our building.
I feel so happy that I can help my school because they really need the help. I would like to thank BEL for giving me the opportunity to challenge myself and to have the experience. And most importantly, I would like to be an inspiration for other students.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Gimme 5! The biggest giveaway show of the year is back with new prizes and surprises. The fun starts at 8 p.m. on Monday, December 4th and ends on Friday, December 8th. Gimme 5 coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studio on Coney Drive in Belize City. Fill out your coupons and return them to our Channel 5 office. Remember to tune in at 8 p.m. every night from December 4th to the 8th for awesome entertainment, giveaways, and lots of prizes. And don't forget, such as a double premium mattress, a 55-inch Samsung TV, bicycles, 2-night stay at Naya Resort, 2-night stay at the Windward Lodge on Tobacco Key, a shopping spree, turkeys, and much, much more. And don't forget, when your phone rings, don't say, hello. Say,
give me 5! Yeah!
The Ministry of Tourism unveiled a revised national cruise tourism policy earlier today. The course of action is a 10-year schedule, during which specific targets will be pursued in an effort to grow the sector to an average of 2.5 million visitors per annum. This morning, stakeholders from across the travel and leisure sector gathered for the big reveal. According to Director of Cruise, Lloyd Enriquez, the updated policy includes input from every level of the industry.
So this is a revised version of the National Cruise Tourism Policy. The first version came out in the early 2000s. So this is a revision, an update of that policy. And it basically presents a 10-year roadmap to developing cruise tourism in Belize. It's really a path to how we could sustainably grow cruise tourism over the next 10 years and hopefully arrive at a sustainable number of about 2.5 million passengers per annum, and that is nationwide.
All right, so we see air traffic is bouncing back up to close to pre-pandemic figures. How is the cruise tourism industry looking right now?
Okay, so cruise is lagging a little bit behind what overnight sector was doing. So in 2019, we had our peak in terms of 1.2 million passengers. This year, January to December 2023, will be about 850 to 900,000 passengers. So we're inching back to where we were pre-COVID, but not quite there yet.
Talk to us about the collective input in the revised national policy.
Yes, indeed. So this revision was done very bottom up. So we went to the stakeholders. We went to those who have been stalwarts in the industry over the years. Some of them have been at this over 20 years, so they're the real experts. They're on the ground and they can tell us what works, what doesn't work, and what we should be aiming for. So they were a part of the cruise working group that we formed to help put this all together. So we relied on their expertise and their experience to point out what would be most important. It is definitely a policy born out of inclusivity and a very bottom-up approach. They're the ones telling us how this industry should go.
Round one of the Senate Select Committee's inquiry into the Portico Government Definitive Agreement took place on Tuesday at the National Assembly Building in Belmopan. That investigation is expected to unearth the depth of the agreement that was signed under the Barrow administration and businessman David Gegg, the proprietor of Portico. The first person to be called to testify at the inquiry were the UDP's former Attorney General Mike Purfeet and its former Minister of State Tracy Tager-Panton. And today, leader of the opposition Shyne Barrow told the media that he is as confident now as he was before the inquiry began that no other UDP member will come into question other than the former Minister of Economic Development who single-handedly signed the agreement on behalf of the government.
I'm confident now, as I was then, that nothing of the sort will come about other than the former minister that we have already condemned, and we have already said that we had nothing to do with the Portico agreement, and I believe former minister, the honorable member from Alberts, has already established that and reinforced that, and the honorable senator, former minister Purfeet, established that. So I don't think that anything was unearthed or there was any contradictions or there was any gotcha moment. From my understanding, I don't know if you feel different.
Sure, the Prime Minister said it would be a waste of taxpayers' dollars if he was to be summoned. If the PUP was to be summoned, do you share those same thoughts? Absolutely not. I don't believe in an open society with open government where we have to be held to account, that this is a waste of time any more than the commission of inquiry was a waste of time. I believe that governments have a right to investigate and to inquire into matters that they deem corrupt. And so in this particular instance, it is not the government, it is not the opposition, it is the stakeholders that came together and brought this motion to the Senate because they felt that something was so wrong from start to finish. Their resolution, their motion was not to investigate the former minister. Their motion was to investigate the former minister up to the cabinet members. And the cabinet member that brought the paper to cabinet is the Prime Minister. So he is not above the law. If someone, no matter who, doesn't matter what political party they are from, anybody that is found liable of any type of corruption should be held to account, whether it's the Prime Minister, whether it's a former minister.
The first matter dealt with during the afternoon session was an amendment to the Criminal Code Act to expand the definition of aggravated assault and to increase the penalty for threat of death and similar offenses. This amendment seeks to better protect members of the media, teachers, and public officers. The opposition raised concerns on the matter, and the government responded. We hear first from Collet Area Representative Patrick Faber, and then from Minister of Home Affairs Kareem Musa.
There is no option from what I gather, and if there is, I'm hoping my honorable friend from Freetown will help us along, but there is no option. You will go to jail for 3 years or up to 3 years. There's no fine or other penalties. The judge will have no choice, or the magistrate will have no choice but to put you in jail. Now, this has great potential for misuse. I believe that you will have to agree with me. But before we do that, let's look at some of the categories that we're talking about here. We're talking about, what is it? Fire service people. We're talking about public officers. We're talking about prison officers. We're talking about teachers in our schools. So if a parent, and I understand very well, I want the teachers to understand that I understand that plight. In fact, we need to be very concerned about the safety of our children. And as Minister of Education for so long, some of the other colleagues on the other side can also attest to this. There are some parents who go into schools, and you have to be very careful of them, because when it comes to people picnics, sometimes they behave a bit off. These are the persons who this bill now purports, Madam Speaker, to put in this category that the aggravated assault could be charged for. We're talking about immigration officers, police officers, Belize Defense Force members. We're talking about members of the media. We're talking about politicians, elected officials. And so, Madam Speaker, I want to caution that this could end up in a very, very, very nasty situation if we're not careful. And I'd really want to hear what the safeguards are in this regard.
These laws and these penalties are not mandatorily enforced. This is the ceiling. And so while it says 5 years, it does not mean that the magistrate will, in her discretion, in this case I think it's 3 years, I think in the other offense it is 5. But in both cases, because I'm sure it can be raised on the next bill as well, in both cases that is the ceiling. That does not mean that the magistrate in her or his discretion will automatically deliver that kind of penalty to a defendant or an accused if they are charged under this legislation. They can even be fined. So what this is the increase of the penalty. And to address the issue raised by the member for Albert, there are laws within our criminal code for assault. There are laws in our criminal code for obscene language. There are laws in our criminal code for threatening words. So all of these laws are currently in existence, and so there will not be an increase in the number of reports or the number of cases because this legislation is now elevating public officers and the media who are more prone, yes, to the level of aggravated assault. Right now, that protection is only offered, as the member mentioned, to police officers. But now all public officers are going to attract this kind of attention because, like both of you rightly mentioned, they are more prone, they are more subjected at the Lands Department to these sorts of attacks by members of the public. And we've seen cases where media personalities, caught on camera individuals coming out of the courtroom, are assaulting members of the media. And in addition to that, in this very house on both sides, currently, there are instances of reports of threats made against members of this honorable house. And so that is the reason for the amendment in the legislation.
During today's House meeting, Prime Minister Briceño introduced an amendment to the Economic Citizenship Abolition of Rights Act. The government feels that descendants of persons who have acquired citizenship before 2014 have continued to apply for citizenship by using loopholes that exist in the current system.
The Belize Economic Citizenship Investment Program, or the BCIP, was brought to an end in 2001 when we amended the Belize Constitution 4th Amendment Act in 2001, which prohibit the reintroduction of similar programs. At the same time, the Belizean Nationality Amendment Act of 2014 repealed the relevant provision in the law which facilitated economic citizenship by investment. The clear intention of the legislature was to completely abolish economic citizenship in Belize. Regrettably, Madam Speaker, that laudable objection was not achieved. Notwithstanding the 2014 legislation, descendants of persons who received economic citizenship prior to 2014 have continued to apply for citizenship by descent, relying on the provision in the Belize Nationality Act that enables descendants to rely on their parents' nationality to obtain Belizean nationality. Hundreds, if not thousands, have become Belizeans using the procedure since 2014. If that was not bad enough, Madam Speaker, we have noticed that the non-Belizean spouses who marry Belizean economic citizens have also applied for nationality, relying on the provision of the law that entitles a spouse to claim Belizean nationality through marriage. Again, hundreds of persons have taken advantage of this loophole. Madam Speaker, we believe that these loopholes are being abused and used to defeat the intention of this Honorable House to abolish economic citizenship. It is our view that persons should not be allowed to rely on loopholes to get around the ban on economic citizenship.
We do not feel that you have the authority to amend the legislation without a constitutional amendment, because regardless of how you want to describe the citizens, they are citizens. They are Belizeans, and they enjoy those rights. So if it is that you are going to strip Belizeans of those rights that are enshrined, that they enjoy due to our Constitution, then you need to amend the Constitution. The second thing, Madam Speaker, this highlights this government's infantile form of governance, this in the dark operation, where if you would share this information, if you would give us the white papers, if you would give us details beforehand, not a 200-page booklet the day that we come to Parliament or the day before, but way in advance, discuss it with us so that when we have parliamentary caucus, we can go over all of the facts. We can't do that. We're in the dark, blindfolded, considering these things, and so then when we come here, we have no choice but to think the worst.
When we return, Global Sustainable Aviation Forum at COP28.
Good morning, miss.
Morning.
How you sell the apples?
3 for 5.
3 for 5?
Yeah. Fresh apples.
Fresh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good morning. How much?
Sell her for 15,000. For interested, I could go for 14.
14? Perfect. 14.
14.
Perfect. Good morning. Excuse me, how long have you two been dating?
7 months, why?
7 months? 7? Good. Good number, good number.
¿Qué le pasa?
I got it. I got it now. My bolito number is ready.
Bolido and Sunday Lotto will return December 1st, 2023, with the first draw scheduled for Sunday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. sharp. Fuwi fun, Fuwi profits, Fuwi Bolido.
What is that sound?
It's the enchanting melody of smart sleigh bells announcing the arrival of Saturday sales. Imagine this. Every Saturday in December, the magic unfolds at smart showrooms countrywide from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here's the scoop. The first 20 customers get even bigger discounts like phones for as low as $50. Selected postpaid plans get a Samsung device for as low as $99. Plus 50% off for 3 months. Make the switch and unwrap a free SIM bundle with SMS, minutes, and data. And if that's not sweet enough, every credit recharge of $50 and up automatically get tripled up. That's triple the joy. Other promotions also available every Saturday. Don't miss out on the festive fun. Be a part of the celebration every Saturday leading up to Christmas. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome to Climate Week, where we unite under the banner of climate action, one goal, a shared responsibility. In a world where the climate crisis knows no borders, we're here to emphasize that saving our planet is not an individual journey, but a collective mission.
We, the athletes, hold the torch of hope for a sustainable future. It's our planet, our future, and our responsibility to take action now.
Businesses are committed to reduce our carbon footprint. We believe in sustainable practices to protect our development.
As educators, we represent the heart of our communities. Together, we can make a difference by educating our nation towards a sustainable future.
The media plays a critical role in bringing to you those stories that highlight Belize's transition to renewable energy and sustainable practices.
In the journey to combat climate change, we have one goal: to preserve our planet for future generations. It's a shared responsibility that requires the collective effort of all. Let's rise above our differences, lift our ambitions, and work together. Because when we work together and unite for climate action, we can achieve the impossible. Join us in making this world a better place for everyone. Together, we can make the difference.
Please protect our environment.
On Sunday, Venezuelans voted overwhelmingly to annex Essequibo, a disputed and oil-rich territory of Guyana. This is territory that the Venezuelan government claims forms a natural part of their country and asserts that it was unfairly delegated to Guyana more than a century ago. This week, the leader of the opposition attended an annual 3-day meeting in Washington with former leaders of other countries to discuss the matter. He shared with us what came out of that forum.
What is happening in Guyana? We put out a restrained statement when Maduro
first announced that he was going to have this referendum. CARICOM also put out a statement. They were more strong, they condemned it, and they pointed Mr. Maduro to the ICJ and called for him to respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Guyana. Guyana in 1966 and Venezuela signed a Geneva Agreement that they would resolve this matter amicably, peacefully. They were to create a commission. That was in 1966. If they could not agree, the commission presented terms that were not agreeable by either party, then they would go to the Secretary General of the United Nations and see what the Secretary General said, and if there were no compromise, there was no agreement, then they would go to the ICJ. That is the 1966 Geneva Agreement. So they can't agree. In 2018, the Secretary General at the time got into the matter and recommended that we can't come to terms. This needs to be resolved at the ICJ. Recently, I believe last Friday, Venezuela was saying the ICJ has no jurisdiction over this, even though in 1966, in the Geneva Agreement, they agreed that if they could not resolve it with this commission, it would go to the ICJ. They said the ICJ has no jurisdiction. The ICJ ruled, because Guyana brought it to the ICJ, that they do have jurisdiction.
On day 7 of COP28 in Dubai, the Global Sustainable Aviation Forum, organized by the aviation industry, welcomed attendees to the Green Zone. Against the backdrop of the global aviation industry's commitment to achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050, the forum highlighted key aspects such as accelerated efficiency measures, energy transition, and innovation. The forum featured discussions on the latest advancements in aviation climate action. Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation, Kennedy Carrillo, participated in the forum, telling News 5 the importance of Belize to be present at these global events.
The Ministry of the Blue Economy and Civil Aviation has interests in both the blue economy as well as the civil aviation aspect of COP28. As you know, in terms of the ocean, we fully acknowledge the threat to our blooming blue economy, because we recognize that as we as a country start to focus on the larger economic potential of our ocean, we also recognize that in this sense our economy can be threatened by climate change. We also know the impact on the coastal areas, on the fisheries and so forth, and we feel that being here gives us that opportunity not only to be informed with the most recent information that's available, but also to network with key partners. Our focus is not only in terms of looking at opportunities for support, financial, but really to find the kind of technical support that we need as a country. In regards to civil aviation, I will be participating in the Global Aviation Forum, which specifically focuses on climate change and aviation as it relates to fuel emission. The threat, as a small country, we don't really have any responsibility as such to the emission, but we are able to benefit from the carbon credits that can be made available to build our aviation industry. So for us, really, it's very important to be a part of the discussions. It's very important for us to be here interacting, sharing the Belize experience as it relates to our blue economy and civil aviation.
In a panel discussion at COP28 in Dubai, Mayor Sharan Palacio of Belmopan addressed the critical need for funding to enhance climate action and innovation in cities. The event, hosted by multilateral development banks, emphasized the challenges faced by local and regional communities in the wake of climate disasters, particularly affecting vulnerable populations. Mayor Palacio highlighted Belmopan's role as a climate-resilient city and discussed the importance of accessing financing at the municipal level. News 5's Hipólito Novello files the following report from Dubai.
Supported by Bloomberg philanthropists and the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy GCOM, Belmopan Mayor Shiwan Palacio participated in a panel discussion focused on mobilizing resources to scale up climate action and innovation in cities. The side event was hosted by multilateral development banks at COP28 in Dubai. Mayor Palacio says her participation in events like these is key to moving Belmopan forward as it relates to climate resilience and innovation.
I think it's very important. As you can see, as I said earlier, I was financed by a huge philanthropy, and the bringing Belmopan to the forefront says a lot, and more so. I'm sure that in Belmopan, in Belize, you see whereby I've been struggling. All the time it's a struggle. So being out here, for me, it gave me an opportunity to validate myself. I've been able to speak to several female mayors. There was a room that was for, it was an innovation studio specifically for mayors. And when you see women are scarce. It's dominated by men. So it gave me an opportunity to connect with my female counterparts. And basically, we share the same story. We're singing the same Sankey.
Local and regional communities are already grappling with the impacts of climate disasters, straining their ability to provide life-saving services and implement local solutions. The climate crisis affects everyone, but disproportionately impacting the poor, marginalized, and vulnerable. Local communities stand on the front lines, requiring swift reinforcements.
Belmopan is the right city to even look at from a climate change perspective, because City Council Belmopan, now it has a term, adaptation, following Hurricane Hattie. So along with that, I needed to share some of the projects that we are doing with nothing, because I'm sure that by now you've heard me on the news all the time crying out that the Belmopan City Council that I inherited, all the equipments are very old. And I highlighted the private partnership relationships whereby the buffers are kept clean, the buffers, the green spaces. And Belmopan, as far as I'm concerned, is the most important, because there's where people come for refuge. And Belmopan is the safe haven.
And what is needed is money. Multilateral development banks, MDBs, united efforts at COP28 to pledge significant action on climate and mobilize over $180 billion in climate finance. The MDB's ambitious climate finance targets are seen as steps in the right direction.
When it comes to financing, the message that I was really pushing for is for us at the municipal level to be able to access our own financing. Because when we have to be waiting at the national level, most times it's very selective. It's who they choose. And the time has come whereby we as mayors, we need far more respect. So when GCOM selected me, I think it's a golden opportunity. And I wasted no time in sharing what it's all about.
Reporting from COP28 in Dubai, Hipólito Novello, News 5.
This reporting was delivered in partnership with the Commonwealth Foundation. Read more at commonwealthfoundation.com.
Next National Assembly will convene at George Price Center.
This X-Massive season, get rewarded and build up your B-Bucks at Benny's. Remember, B-Bucks is free money. Every Saturday in December, customers who spend $100 or more will spin the wheel for a chance to win up to 50 B-Bucks. The more you build up your B-Bucks, the more you have to use across all Benny's locations and entities. Make this Christmas season X-Massive with B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
Safety isn't expensive, it's priceless. My name is Abigail Wagner. I attend El Shaddai STA and I am in Standard 6. Safe values and attitudes are very important in one's personal life because it teaches us to learn to be responsible for our actions. Responsibility equals accountability. Accountability equals ownership. And a sense of ownership is the most powerful thing a team or organization can have.
Thank you, BEL, for this great initiative. It is a benefit for both students and also families and also our school. We want to use some of the funds to fix our computer lab. We have our electrical, we need to change the wiring in our building.
I feel so happy that I can help my school because they really need the help. I would like to thank BEL for giving me the opportunity to challenge myself and to have the experience. And most importantly, I would like to be an inspiration for other students.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Yes, I give her 50 times ending, now me have to pay.
Where you going, bruh? The who they stress you out again, Namule?
Boy, I don't believe I the fool again.
Again?
But I mess up this time for real, for real. You really want to know?
Yes. I want, yeah.
Can't make it a big deal.
We know what that.
I know how you going.
Oh, man.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Take my plan, and I give her. I take my plan and put it in a she name.
In a she name?
Wait, so tell me something. You still pay for this plan?
Yeah. But hear this. This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart believes. This plan, I can't left this plan, yeah. This plan, I can't left this plan. Postpaid plan. This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart believes, get unlimited data. Smart choice plan can light up your day. Postpaid with eSIM, make everything better. Just visit Smart showrooms today. I can't left this plan. 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 Affordable for everyone. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong.
You know why? Listen, for the best post and prepaid. You know that Smart got you back.
My bad. Wrong commercial. She could left me for another man. The truth, once I have my plan, once I have my Smart Plus plan, I no worry cause the data strong. I know when you bleed, cause that's all I need. And you could tell me where you are, but I never left this plan. Smart have the best services. We post your plan have everything, so you could talk and text unlimited. Come set up your group, we got share plan 1 and 2. Up to 10 friends can connect anywhere. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong. Don't dig it down, don't dig it down, don't dig it down. Smart release. Don't dig it down, 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 don't dig it. Smart, bringing people together.
Inaugurated a little over 53 years ago, the National Assembly building will finally be refurbished in 2024. As we reported earlier this week, the Republic of China Taiwan granted the government of Belize the funds necessary to undertake the much-needed renovation. This morning, at the start of today's House meeting, Speaker Valerie Woods commented on the upcoming works that will see future sittings of the House being held at the George Price Center on an interim basis.
This building has not gone through a major renovation since its inauguration and its implementation of October 1970. There is no denying, as I'm sure all members will agree, also members of the public, that there is much work to be done to modernize it, to make it more accessible, to allow for a more improved working environment for the staff, for parliamentarians, and for the visiting public, including media. We have seen the limitations not only displayed during House meetings and Senate meetings, through ceremonial sittings, but we've also seen it during committee meetings and even regular staff meetings, and meetings in general with parliamentarians and other diplomats. Please be aware that the relocation will occur during the Easter recess period, so either at the end of March or early April, so as to be ready for House and Senate sittings when the recess concludes, which would be early May.
According to Woods, a timeline has been set out for the works to commence. It is expected that the project, which will be executed by the Ministry of Infrastructure and Development, will be completed by February 2025. The Speaker of the House of Representatives shared the work schedule.
Temporary relocation will be at the George Price Center for a period scheduled for 10 months. If all goes on track, it means then that the National Assembly will then be returned, National Assembly meetings will then be returned to this new and improved building as of late January or early February 2025. For you to be aware, the George Price Center will be set up in this similar fashion. It will accommodate one committee room and it will accommodate 2 members' room. There may be some limitation with public gallery for visitors. Media will still have a space in the main chamber upstairs. Should the need arise for there to be extended spacing for public gallery, that will have to be accommodated outside with the use of a digital screen under a tent. Those decisions will be taken meeting by meeting and as well by the request of public if we see an overwhelming demand based on the first few meetings. I'd also like to acknowledge the work of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Development and Housing, who have been asked to serve in the capacity of executing agency for both projects. Those projects are the remedial works that have to be done at the George Price Center. Those commence December 16th or as of December 16th, and that should run through the end of March. Immediately thereafter, they commence the works at the National Assembly building.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget to tune in tonight at 8 p.m. for night 4 of Gimme 5 right here on Channel 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.